Have you ever wondered why, even when you follow a healthy diet, your blood sugar levels suddenly spike? What are you doing wrong, and why does this happen? Besides teaching you how to quickly reduce blood sugar levels to normal and prevent them from rising, we will also share the dangers and secrets associated with high blood sugar levels. Knowing why sugar rises is crucial for this, as there are other factors besides carbohydrates. What else will we talk about today? Why does sugar increase despite following a diet? Which 3 surprising products reduce blood sugar levels? What should be done if blood glucose levels suddenly rise? What type of tea should be served to all diabetics? Which of Naomi's suggestions to reduce sugar do you agree with? Stay with us until the end. Doctors, besides learning various methods to reduce sugar, you will also receive special guidance from our specialist. I promise you won't find this on the internet. The pancreas produces the hormone insulin, which helps cells absorb glucose from the blood. Of course, diabetics will respond, yes, we already know that. You also knew that all foods break down into glucose, which is then absorbed by the blood and used by cells as fuel. However, you don't know that insulin levels, and consequently blood glucose levels, are influenced by proteins, lipids, and carbohydrates. Proteins and lipids, if you hadn't guessed, are also crucial for this intricate process. You see, when you eat protein-rich foods, the protein breaks down into amino acids, which the liver uses to produce glucose. This means your body can continue producing glucose from other sources even if you stop eating carbohydrates. If you didn't know that, give this a thumbs up. As for lipids, they change the blood sugar curve after meals by slowing down carbohydrate absorption. In other words, fats can prevent unexpected blood sugar spikes. Therefore, it is not acceptable to give up all fats entirely. Even if a doctor advises you to lose weight, choose foods that provide good fats. Here are some examples of healthy fats you should consume. For example, include fish oil in your diet. You don't have to spend part of your income on expensive red fish to get it. Omega-3 fatty acids are also abundant in less costly seafood like sardines or mackerel. Fats are also found in nuts. Any type of nut you have on hand will do. Chocolate is another source of good fats. Wait, diabetics can't eat chocolate. On the contrary, dark chocolate with a high cocoa content is good for you, as it has antioxidants. We will ask our specialist if it is necessary to give up chocolate entirely. Denis Leved is an endocrinologist. Is it safe for diabetics to eat chocolate? Strict dietary guidelines, such as avoiding all foods with added sugar, are no longer necessary for diabetics. It is crucial to avoid imposing these restrictions on yourself because, over time, they tend to break, and the person starts eating sweets carelessly. It is advisable to eat small amounts of chocolate regularly if you like a particular variety. Nevertheless, vegetables should make up the majority of the diet. As long as you receive proper medical treatment, this strategy will work better over time than giving up chocolate entirely. Did you know there is something more harmful than sweets besides meals? What else can cause a rapid increase in blood sugar? Psychological stress can be the cause. The stress that comes with surgery, taking certain medications, and excessive physical exertion. However, this is personal, as everyone responds differently to stress and physical activity. We tend to underestimate stress, but the stress hormone cortisol is the real culprit. The fight-or-flight hormone adrenaline can also drastically raise blood sugar levels. One gets a little anxious, and blood sugar levels rise, even if following a strict diet. Keep in mind that this has happened before, and how can you not feel anxious when everything goes wrong? Without a medical prescription, mild analgesics and natural therapies can be helpful. Diabetics can use them, but keep in mind that they all have cumulative effects, and you won't notice any change until after 10 days. Prepare relaxing infusions at home if, for some reason, you don't trust the analgesics bought at the pharmacy. Lemon balm is, of course, the first that comes to mind. In one of the trials involving 20 people, an intriguing finding was made. In 95% of the cases, people who drank lemon balm tea for 15 consecutive days showed benefits, and 70% reported that their anxiety had completely disappeared. Calming teas help reduce the harmful effects of stress on the body. The fact that the renowned Russian doctor and scientist, Professor Ivan Pavlovich Nemyvakin, suggested preparing and consuming calming herbs is not a coincidence. Now, the professor's recipes. Prepare an infusion of chamomile, mint, and lemon balm. Pour half a liter of boiling water over a teaspoon of each chopped and dried herb. You knew it is necessary to boil the water for the herbs. Many of them are only effective when heated to high temperatures. Take the time to relax with a calming tea and drink it twice a day. Also, keep in mind that it is not a good idea to use too many herbs. Each plant has adverse effects and medical indications. Avoid taking overly concentrated infusions, hoping to get a greater effect. If taken in excess, even seemingly harmless herbs like chamomile and lemon balm can have unexpected side effects. All doctors agree that a healthy diet is crucial for reducing blood sugar. As Denis Leved points out, blood sugar spikes are caused by carbohydrate-rich foods like white bread, potatoes, and sugary drinks. They should be avoided. Sugar and high glycemic index foods should be consumed in larger quantities of fresh vegetables, herbs, and low-sugar fruits, as well as fiber-rich and protein-rich foods. However, the increase in sugar is also influenced by other aspects of your life. We will see this soon. As we have already mentioned, stress, inactivity, and being overweight. Why is being overweight necessary? It makes cells less sensitive to insulin, and leading a sedentary lifestyle makes cells less able to absorb glucose, the body's energy. Hormonal changes also affect sugar spikes. If they are not spent, do you know what Down syndrome is? Early in the morning, the fight-or-flight response and the active release of stress hormones cause a normal increase in blood sugar. This hormone increase occurs every morning, forces us to wake up and act, and is related to our inherent biological clocks. The number of meals and the time between them are not strictly controlled, which causes a blood sugar spike in diabetics in the morning. It depends on the patient's comfort level. In addition to breakfast, lunch, and dinner, snacks are often consumed. When necessary, it is advisable to eat nuts and vegetables. Whole grain bread with cheese is also acceptable, but the most important rule is to avoid high-calorie snacks. Recognize that merely eliminating prohibited foods will not return blood sugar levels to normal. The technique for controlling blood sugar levels is more complicated. Why is it so important to regulate blood sugar? Imagine blood sugar is like the water in a river. The river overflows when there is too much water and destroys everything in its path. Similarly, severe consequences such as damage to blood vessels, nerves, and even organs can result from high blood sugar levels. We offer useful tips and proven recipes to regulate blood sugar levels, which we will discuss next. Expert and a story about how to easily prevent sugar spikes. The information combines traditional procedures proven by research and the guidance of evidence-based medicine experts. Many people use traditional foods and techniques passed down from generation to generation to reduce their blood sugar levels. Since the basis of these recipes is the use of herbs, there is nothing wrong with it. Natural products and spices always choose the best solutions for you. Here are 5 recipes to reduce sugar that you can try today. The first is to prepare a cup of boiling water with a tablespoon of chicory and drink it instead of coffee. The inulin found in chicory helps metabolism as a prebiotic. Inulin feeds and stimulates the growth of beneficial bacteria in the colon. This keeps blood sugar levels under control and speeds up metabolism. Bardana root also contains inulin, along with chicory. The second recipe is as follows. Buy powdered root at the pharmacy, add a tablespoon to a glass of boiling water, and let it sit for half an hour. 3 times a day, before meals, take a third of a glass. Tea lovers will love the third recipe. Drink green tea 3 times a day after preparing it with a slice of fresh ginger. Ginger and green tea help reduce sugar content. Cinnamon also increases insulin sensitivity. In the morning, on an empty stomach, prepare a teaspoon of cinnamon in a glass of boiling water and drink it. Take half a glass twice a day. As an additional recipe, here is a special tip from our expert. There are no foods or techniques that quickly reduce blood glucose levels. Cucumbers have a low glycemic index and help reduce blood sugar levels. However, as dehydration is especially harmful in cases of acute diabetic decompensation, it is essential to drink enough fluids. If blood sugar levels rise sharply and quickly, it is naturally necessary to see a doctor to modify the diabetic treatment. Let's now examine in more detail which foods are best for diabetics. Yes, we have already covered them in previous diabetes-related videos. I will list 3 foods that are often overlooked and should not be. Seaweed is the first surprise. You may already know it and follow your own diet, Although seaweed is rich in proteins and antioxidants, it is rarely discussed as a resource for controlling blood sugar levels. Studies have shown that brown seaweed, including laminaria, helps prevent sudden blood sugar spikes. Seaweed is even being studied for the creation of new medications. Curiously, eating brown seaweed can reduce blood glucose by almost 16.5% without affecting fasting blood insulin levels. Pumpkin seeds are the second overlooked food. They provide fiber and magnesium, which help control blood sugar levels. Simply eat pumpkin seeds as a snack or include them in baked dishes and salads. They are also much cheaper than other foods and an easily available product. Chicory is the third food that reduces blood sugar. You think I'm saying it again. As I mentioned earlier, we are not used to using chicory root powder instead of coffee. But there are other applications for it. There are numerous options. For example, adding chicory to meat or vegetable dishes will give them a distinctive and slightly spicy flavor. Mix it with low-fat kefir or yogurt. If you make your own bread, you can also add the powder. But keep in mind that bread is a carbohydrate. Watch the amount of carbohydrates you consume to keep blood sugar under control. Although it is absorbed slowly, for example, you need 1 kilogram of watermelon or a single slice of 111 g of bread to provide 50 g of carbohydrates. To prevent blood sugar levels from rising too quickly, it is essential to moderate the diet. Follow this rule. Tell the truth. Be careful with diabetes. If so, give it a like. If not, think about the consequences. Did you know that the disease has a habituation syndrome? At this point, a person stops paying attention to a chronic illness like diabetes because they start to see it as something that happens every day. That shouldn't happen. Diabetes quadruples the risk of heart attack and stroke if blood sugar levels are not controlled. It is a real statistic, and I am not trying to scare you. High blood sugar levels also damage the kidney filters and cause kidney problems. Frequent sugar increases make diabetics lose sensitivity in their hands and feet. This condition is known as diabetic neuropathy. As a thank you for watching this video to the end, our expert will share a story with you. I am sure you want to lead an active and positive life. What is it about? We will find out now. Strict guidelines like eating only wheat or following a dinner diet have long been abandoned in the context of diabetic patient nutrition. The eating habits of these patients are not very different from those of the general population.